So, I'm not wearing a mask because, well, they're useless. I don't want to go into the whole Corona, COVID-19 nonsense. We're in a hot country. Flus tend to do better in cold countries. We've been fine, but anyway. This is the condo we live in. We just go down the elevator. Here's the car. Anyway, we wash our hands all the time, blah, blah, blah. So this is the car. It's done. Oh my God, it's, it's absolutely amazing. P1, or how do you pronounce it in Tyres? At Penang? Penang. Okay, so I had it tuned by Penang. Penang is a famous tuner, drifter, and stunt driver. He's done, what was the movies he did? He did, what's the new Netflix film with Ryan Reynolds in it? The Alfa Romeo in green. Underground 8. He was a driver of that Alfa Romeo. I won't go into details of what he thought about that car. The same opinions I have. Anyway, so the guy that drifts and did all the crazy stuff in that movie and lots of other movies that are usually based in Asia, he's the one that set up this car. The parts were supplied by Ishiban Engineering, two guys living in Thailand, originally from Israel. They sourced parts from all around the world, and I had a very unique idea for this car. Now, it had a 1JZ VVTi GTE. It's quite a rare engine. It's a single turbo. It's called a CT15B. If you've ever driven one, they're very torquey. More torquey than a Toyota Supra twin turbo. Honestly, they are. If you drive them back to back, you put your foot down, the Chaser that has this engine will go before the Supra goes. The tech is newer and more advanced in the 1J than it is in the 2J. I don't know why, but I don't want to get into online arguments or comments, people saying 2J is better. They're both great engines, different uses, right? So I like diesel torque, the 35D I had. I like response. I don't like to wait. The M2 competition is awful. The M3 was awful. You know, it was like a light switch power delivery. No matter what I did, no matter how I tuned that car, and I've tried everything, you just couldn't get it to behave right. M3, which was naturally aspirated, I could drive that and slide it around all day long. It was like organic. It was lovely. And so that was the plan with this build. Where do I begin? So it is an RX8, yes. It was yellow, but this lovely young lady behind the camera, you can't see, decided to say hello to a taxi driver, and she smashed the front bumper, and then after that, someone smashed into the back bumper, you know, bang, chain of events. The paint wasn't that great anyway. It had scratches and some cracks, and it needed to be repainted, bodywork needed to be done. So, what did I do? It was going to cost me just a tiny bit more to make a custom color. And I like Tiffany's, which is a trademark. So you can't actually get the Tiffany's color, you have to make it. And so I got the Tiffany color and I tweaked it a little bit and put a little bit more green and put a white pearl into it. I don't know if it shows on camera. In the previous video you can see it when the sun shines, it kind of, the flakes show up. It's beautiful, it really is. It doesn't look like a man's car. It doesn't look like a 100-kilo crossing 40 man's car, but yeah, it is. So it's got a 1JZ, it's an RX8, no rotary. The original turbo on this was dying. It had the whine of death. You could hear it. There's a video on Instagram, you can hear the whir noise. And so I had a couple options. I go big turbo, big horsepower, but I don't need all that power. I mean, this is fast. So I wanted something weird. I wanted the OEM turbo, but I wanted a billet wheel. And now I can't pronounce this correctly. There's two ways to say it: Inconel or Inconel turbine. Now the billet wheel is very strong, and Inconel is also very strong. The original turbo on this is ceramic. When you go over 1 bar, they break, and it kind of restricts the car. I don't know if it's on purpose or if it was for making it responsive, because it was very responsive. I don't know, I don't care. So I got a new turbo that is OEM, but it's been modified, and it's super strong. It will not break. It's not capable of huge numbers, but it's capable of holding huge boost, and it will not break. And that's what I got. And I'll try and put a picture of them side by side somewhere here. I don't know, when I go onto Adobe. So yeah, that's what I've done. So we put that in. Originally the car had a stupid setup. It had a HKS first gen blow-off valve that was awful, and a wastegate, and they were fighting each other, and it was causing surging issues, idling issues. The computer didn't know what was going on, and it would cut out randomly in traffic. It would stutter, and sort of ripped it all out. And I'm going to show you now what I've done. We've simplified it and just made it OEM plus. So yeah, let's go have a look. So, engine bay, all painted properly. The J-pipe that was here, now they call it a J-pipe, it's an intake pipe that's usually in this place here. I'll put a photo in again to show you. That's been taken off. That improves the response. It looks a bit empty here. I'll probably have it painted to match. We've replaced the filter. It was red before. We've put a new HKS, genuine HKS, not a fake one, foam filter in. There is a blue one actually, but it's really hard to find, so I might change it depending on my mood. This is where it gets interesting. So it's a 1JZ, 2.5 litre. Turbo's down here. Intake goes straight in, and intercooler is right here. It's a massive intercooler, huge radiator. You can see it all. It's all been simplified. There's no cat, there's no back box. It's very simple. Moving around. In order to put the engine in, you have to change a few things in the RX8. It's not that straightforward. Obviously, it's a lot longer than a rotary. Rotary is like here, and there's like a huge space here. And it's very close to the firewall. So engine mounts have to be made. That's been done. It's the steering. Steering is an issue. Now, the RX8 comes with electric steering. I hate electric steering. I could ramble on for hours about how much I hate it. I have now got E39 hydraulic BMW steering, which is right up there with E46. It feels fantastic. So I have organic hydraulic steering. So you've got a BMW steering system with a Toyota engine in a Mazda RX8 with a specially made turbo with a billet wheel, Inconel turbine. It's just insane. It drives crazy. It feels great. The injectors are 850cc Bosch. They're all lined up here. They're blue, but you can't really see them. Fuel pressure regulator, not a fake, genuine. Was it Aeromotive? Yes, it is. We don't mess around. Walbro pump. Now, the guy that owned this before, he spent a lot of money putting the JZ in, but he didn't finish it. It was like 90% done. I don't want to say anything rude about him. He made a very silly mistake, and it was so simple to fix. So the fuel tank in this car, it has, are they bladders? I don't know. They're like a U shape, okay? Like a horseshoe. So a tank here and a tank there, so it's like that, okay? And when he swapped the engine in, he only had one pump set up for one side of the fuel tank. So I had half a fuel tank. Just ridiculous. So empty was half on the tank. It's just mind-boggling. Do you know how much it cost to fix? Like 2,000 baht, which is in US dollars, it's like $80. In pounds, 50 pounds. That's all it cost. And he spent, you know, hundreds of thousands of baht, you know, thousands of US dollars, thousands of pounds to do the swap, and didn't bother doing the fuel tank. It was Thai maths, I believe it's called. So yeah, whatever, cool. But everything's very clean and tidy, as you can see. It doesn't look like an aftermarket kind of job. It's all very clean. You know, you've got lovely little tanks, all custom made, it's all tucked away cleanly, it's all painted in the correct color. Everything looks like it's supposed to be there. It's a little bit dirty at the moment, I'm sorry. I haven't had time to clean it, and going out is probably a bad idea. I don't want to die, so once all this nonsense is over, I'll get it nice and clean. My coilovers are Greddy. They're 32-way adjustable. I've got them set very soft, and they are very soft. It's great. The gearbox is a 4-speed A340 from Supra. It's a bit of an issue. This car can make a lot more power, but the gearbox holds it back. But an issue for another time. I don't really want to go into it right now. Presently, it's fantastic. I mean, it's absolutely insane. It goes like stink. Instant throttle response, instant boost, sounds great, goes great. The fuel is E20. You don't get that anywhere else. You only seem to get it in Thailand. So the fuel here is a bit weird. Okay, so they got 92, 95, which is the RON, not the US, it's the European rating. So they're not very good for turbo engines. And then they got E20 and E85. Yeah, I could have gone E85, but I didn't. I went E20. Now, the reason I went E20, that's about 97 to 99 octane, okay? I could have gone E85, but then it's going to drink more because it consumes more. I've got the flow, I've got the injectors, I've got the pump, I've got everything for it, but it's going to make so much power if I do that. The gearbox is just going to explode onto the side of the road, so it's absolutely pointless. So that's why I didn't go E85. So I'm restricted by the gearbox, I had to go E20. So it's 20% ethanol. But yeah, so that's it. That's the engine bay. It's very nice. Would you like to know what it sounds like? Let's do that now. We've got, oh. I was going to put Recaros in it, but these seats, they're really nice. And I love the rotary here. I know it's not a rotary now, but whatever. I'm not going to put different seats in it. Everything works. That beep is just the gauges. She's really warmed up because I came back from a long drive. Hang on, let me put the microphone. Okay, I'm just going to do this for a few seconds. I don't want to piss anyone off. Yeah, that's it's a bit too loud, so probably sort that out. Too loud for me. It does sound good though, and I'll get some driving footage once everything's calmed down and the whole woo flu thing has died off. But it's great. I mean, it's a reliable car. It's, you know, you can drive this 24/7. You can go Tesco, 7-Eleven, cross country on it. It's never going to break down. These engines are just bulletproof. And that's why I built it this way. I didn't go big turbo. I didn't do anything crazy. I just maxed what was there. That was the plan, to maximize the potential of the 1JZ to show what it can do. And it can do well over 400 horsepower. And that's it. It's crazy. And it just makes you think as well, because, what was it, 2020? This engine dates back to 1990. It's old. It's an old engine. Not as old as me, but it's old. And just think about it. There's no direct injection. There's no variable geometry turbos. There's no special manifold setups. It's just a standard manifold onto a turbo. It's basic. It's a cable throttle, single throttle body. There's no electronic wizardry going on here. This is as basic as it gets. This is old school. And it's making 450 horsepower. Now, it's a 2.5 litre car. There's no lag. It's pretty good on fuel. It sounds pretty awesome. I mean, it's up there with TTRS, above it. And that car has all those special electronics going on. It makes you think that we haven't really moved forward that much. But yeah, the Audi is a lot easier to drive. I mean, your mum and your dad and your grandma and your granddad can drive it easily. This, if you don't know how to drive, you'll die, because there's no traction control, there's no little nannies to help you. This, you need to know how to drive. This is old school. But forgetting all the electric stuff, it just shows you that we haven't really progressed that far. All we've done is just added little novelty features. That's all we've done. That's what that's how I feel anyway. So I love it. It's fantastic. I forgot to mention the ECU I'm using is a HKS FCON V Pro Gold 3.4. Sorry, 3.3. It's the best ECU for these kind of setups for JDM. Don't use Greddy, manage HKS Gold. Always use that. It's basically a standalone and it works. I haven't showed you my wheels and brakes, so, you know, I've always said this with bikes and all my cars, with lots of go, you need lots of slow, okay? So here we have, these are Achilles Tires. You're gonna think, oh, budget tires, they're rubbish. No, they're awesome. I've used ATR 1s when they first came out and I was amazed. These are the ATR 2s, they're even better. They're great. 265, 35, 18, all four corners. Handles like it's on rails. These are forged, yes, forged wheels from Japan. JDM works Emotion. And these are Brembo Monoblock. You want to get the camera for some nice detail? This beautiful Italian brake system. But these are very special, very rare. I was very lucky to get them. Someone had them for an RX8, and they're for 18-inch wheels, and they just fit, just. And they're beautiful. They're forged monoblocks, 4-piston. I mean, they're just fantastic, and the car stops very well. And I've had the camber done. On here, it's negative 2.7. You can see it's a seriously chunky back end. It needs it. It needs it. It's yeah, it's a great car. It really is. And it's mad that, you know, even though it's technically tuned, it's tuned so within its boundaries, because this engine can go all the way up to 600, 700 horsepower. you know, 400 something is just a piece of pie. In my opinion, it's the Supra that should have been made. This is the true Mark V. You got rear seats, you got front seats, you got a nice big boot. It's a beautiful car. It's got wonderful little flares from the factory. It's like a wide body. All electrics work in the car. I haven't put the sat nav in yet. I've got the kit. You can try and get in here. It's a very low car. You think it's low now. It was crazy low before. I had to raise it 1 inch. It's like Lamborghini, Ferrari height, even now. Before it was even lower. Everything works. The fans always blow. It's Thailand. So ignore the beeping. It always does that. Shush. Shush, 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 shush. I don't know how to shut it up. But everything works except for the paddles at the moment. I can't get used to the whole right side indicators because I'm used to German. But everything works in here. I've got a boost gauge, water temp, oil pressure, and that's the oil temperature there. Oh no, oil temperature here, sorry. And it all works. Fuel gauge works. This actually does work. Tiptronic doesn't work, but you can go overdrive 4, but it's best not to mess around with it. It will slip. I'll sort it out later. But yeah, this is the car. 99% complete. Just needs a wash. Put the sat nav in. I've got this stereo. It's got a mini disc. Remember mini disc? I remember mini disc. I had a mini disc. It was awesome. So I used to cycle to work, and you only get this in JDM. Mini disc. Oh, those were the days where you could record your music with an optical cable. It was like before MP3. Pretty cool. That's a camera for the back, but that'll be gone because the screen, it's going to be a Pioneer unit. It's going to go here and the camera will be there. Yeah. Shush. Got to figure out. The reason why it's beeping is because when it goes over 1 bar, that's the setting, 1 bar. Over 1 bar, it goes beep to warn you. But it's at 1.4 bar boost. Just need to reset it. You can go higher now. I can go 1.6, 1.8, but again, gearbox restrictions. So yeah, so that's it. That is the RX8 1JZ as it is right now. What, in Tiffany's blue, I guess you could say, or my own twist on Tiffany. Unita, what do you think? Good. Good. Yeah. Good. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, blah, blah. I really appreciate it. Since moving to Asia, most of my views come from this area, and this is crazy. The views are worth 3 times less than they are in England and America. Bet you didn't know that. But her video riding on the MT15 has got a crazy amount of views, and it's making the same amount of money as something that's got 3 times less the amount of views that I've made before. That's got people from the UK, Europe and America watching it. Interesting. Food for thought. Anyway, stay healthy, stay safe, stay at home. We are. I know it's boring, just Netflix, Pirate Bay. Or watch my videos and all my crazy stuff that I've done. You know, I've had the 35D, I've got the E30, got the M3, she's got the compact, and I've got this now. You can watch this. Yeah, all right guys, take care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.